Hey, what's good, YouTube? Very first long format tutorial on the channel. Plan on doing these more in the future, so let me know what other kinds of tutorials you guys want to see. Today I'm going to be showing y'all how to make beats like AMIR.PR0D. Many of you guys may already know Amir through his work with artists like Lunchbox, Benji Cold, 800 Points. But for those of you who don't, he's basically responsible for pioneering the new jazz subgenre along with his closest collaborator, Lunchbox. So for this tutorial, I wanted to link up with my homie Dan. He makes some crazy new jazz beats and he's overall phenomenal producer. So it was really a no-brainer to bring him in on this one. Go sub to his channel, give him a follow on IG, and be sure to check out his music.
Alright, so this is how I made the melody for the party beat that Rob basically made. It's kind of like Amir inspired, but it's also like Venny / whatever inspired. It's kind of a mix of just new jazz. But this is what these chords sound like. And I will just say, don't be afraid to go off key sometimes. Sometimes it will sound very good. This A note right here, it's not in scale, but that doesn't matter. Sometimes going out of scale works. And just experiment with the sound, bro, and just experiment with what comes natural. For the second half, it's kind of just to highlight the chords. Just gives it a little bit of life instead of it just being one continuous long, like, stabby chord progression. This is what this sounds like. It just kind of highlights it a little bit. The third one, it's kind of a call and response thing.
Yo, I want to lab with Dingle, bro.
Oh, right. So this is kind of just a counter melody. A little thing that most new jazz producers like to do, and that's slide their leads a lot, especially when you use Surge XT, Purity, Xenology, all those kind of things. People just slide the leads a lot. But the second sound, it's basically just the call and response thing that I just mentioned. Again, the off-key note, the out-of-scale one. Like I said, don't be scared to experiment going outside of the scale. For the next sound, it's just a little key. Most of the sounds from this are from Surge XT. Great for new jazz, just great for a lot of genres. Glow, love music, and jerk. But yeah, for this next sound, it's the artificial key. Simple pattern once again. Just another little texture pattern, and this one's from Hive. It sounds like this. Moving on to the 808, the Crime Effect 808, it's basically just the filtered CTM. And then for final 808 is just this little fence 808 from Amir's 10K kit. And then altogether, this is what the entire loop sounds like. Thank you for watching, and yeah, let's pass it over to Rob.
Alright, Dan went crazy on this loop. Gotta do it justice. Started with the drums. The first thing I added was the hi-hats. Wanted to keep a fairly simple pattern. This is what I laid down. Pretty typical new jazz hi-hat pattern. You'll hear a little bit of delay on here, so I have a preset in my 2K kit, dropping soon. Kind of my go-to hi-hat sauce. I got a delay, a reverb for some texture, and then I also have a grow speed on here that adds that little reverse effect that you hear that plays every bar. Together with the melody, it sounds like this. Next, I added a clap. Simple clap, nothing crazy, and then a triangle as well. So altogether, the drums sound like this. Then for this section, the only other thing I added in is a little perc, which I chopped up from Dan's kit. And all I did is I took that first sound here. It sounds like this. solo them so you can hear them without the melody. And that's it for this section. After the chorus, I added this crushed oscillated lead, so with the melody it'll sound like this. Now in this section, I also added a couple other sounds. I started with this reverse clap sound effect from my 2K kit. And then I also added in a little counter snare from the homie Isaac's kit. So all together, this section sounds like this. For the verse, I kept it dry. I just kept the loop as is, the way Dan had it. And then in the second part, I added the goated sax lead. Also dropped in a little gunshot effect down here for some sauce in the transition. So for AMIR type beats, if you haven't noticed, especially on a lot of Lunchbox's music, he drops it right away. There's not really an intro or anything, chorus right from the jump. So I kept Dan's loop as he sent it. Like I said, I did duplicate one section here in the verse and I added a couple leads, but for the most part it's drums the whole time. If you've noticed in AMIR's beats and a lot of beats that Lunchbox uses, there's not a whole lot of breaks. They don't really do bridges. They might have some stutters here and there or like some pauses, which you see I added in a few. I did a little stutter intro and then I did a little break here later on, which I'll show you guys. So intro, what I did is I just chopped this first note, or like the first hit of the sample, and I panned it right and left. So it kind of just gives it that cool hit before the beat drops. Then after the verse, I basically bring it right back into the intro where it started. To switch it up a little bit, I did another cut here. I cut the melody, cut everything. I just kept the hats and the triangle hitting here, and it gave it this cool stutter effect. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I kept it pretty simple for the drums. I think it's really important with AMIR beats, especially, to keep the drums fairly simple. Like the sauce is really in the sound selection, and then just minor details here and there. A lot of times these melodies and these types of loops, they already have a lot going on, so you have to keep the drums simple. So again, focus on sound selection, focus on your mix, make sure everything's sitting in a good pocket, let the sound do its work.
Don't